been married for 4 years. Recently, my husband told me I dress too sexy to be a woman of God.
I think, regardless, I think you should submit to your husband. You shouldn't really worry about what anyone else on the street thinks. You get looks, or you're still coming home to that one man.
I've been engaged for 4 months. My fiance is everything I've been looking for in a wife. My perspective on her changed recently. She got into a fist fight with my sister. And even if she had to put her down, the spit is over the top.
What the church won't say.
Welcome to What the Church Won't Say,
where we have difficult conversations at the foot of the cross.
And today's conversations is conversations with you guys. I mean, literally with you guys. This is another episode of Pillow Talk where we have the luxury of answering our viewers' relationship questions. So we're going to dive right into it. Here we go. Question number 1. I'm going to label this question, the honeymoon phase is over. Our viewer says, I've been married for 8 years.
Okay.
My wife no longer puts forth the effort she did when we were dating. She comes to bed wrapped like a mummy, and sex has become more like a delicacy. I'm struggling. How do I address this?
Well, I think this is a touchy subject.
It's not that touchy. It doesn't sound like it.
Well, we're trying to get it to be touchy.
There you go. There you go.
I think a nice dinner, a conversation over dinner. If you want something out of her, then give her something. Date night out on the town, dope restaurant.
Okay.
Romantic, good food, and have that conversation at dinner. So it doesn't. You're not just asking her for something, you're also giving something while asking her for something, and you're trying to get the spark back.
Absolutely. I'm gonna throw it in the table. I like that advice. Good one. I think in that conversation, though, the conversation that's really gonna be vital is trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yes.
Because you don't know if it's someone's health. You don't know if it's someone's insecurities. You don't know what it is that's causing them to be less sexual or feel sexy. So I would try to figure out, get to the root cause or whatever the problem is. And if it is something like insecurity, especially after women have kids, those things happen, putting on weight, getting older, those things happen. Yeah. I would try to fortify how beautiful she is to me, no matter what's going on with her, and take it from there. Let that be the cornerstone of building what you gonna be a better sexual habits. So
yeah, because women just don't function right if they don't feel sexy.
They don't. They don't.
They have to feel like
you want them.
Yeah,
you want them.
They have to feel sexy too. Yeah.
And sometimes, man, because every woman's different. Sometimes it's not even about wanting them physically. They want to know sometimes that you're just into them. You want it when they're talking to you, that you're totally locked in to what they're saying. And sometimes that's unattractive when a woman's trying to tell you about their day or something that happened at work, and you're on your phone like, yeah, really, that, so that's a turn off, so I mean,
all the way down.
Yeah, so you got to kind of know your woman and try to feed that monster to make her warm up in that area. You know?
I think that's that was great advice what he said. Because you get atmosphere. Yeah, definitely set the atmosphere, and also as a man, just take the responsibility. I mean, he is the leader of his home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So initiate that conversation, take her out to a nice place, and then figure it out. What's going on with her, so that you can help her. We
gotta stop just letting situations that may seem small to just go on. Yeah. As men, like you said, we gotta initiate. Yeah. We gotta initiate, even if it's gonna be hard conversations. We gotta initiate if it's gonna be uncomfortable situations or conversations. It's okay. Sometimes those conflicts bring about harmony, and I think sometimes as men, we run from it. I don't want to hear her mouth. I don't want to be touchy and feely. She might start crying. And man, we have to initiate, because this is the one thing I want to say. This is coming to me. Sometimes the trajectory or where we trying to go is just a little bit off, and it don't seem that bad in a moment. The Bible says the little foxes spoil the vine. It's those little things, but as the years go on, you'll see how far off you really are. And it started with just a little bit of being off,
and it builds from there.
It builds from there. Yes. 10 years later, you're like, how's man and woman? We don't even think remotely close.
Right.
You know, so, but it started with a little slight mental offness, and you guys wasn't one, and you just 10 years down the line, it just exposed how bad you are. So address those things when they small. It's always easier to pull up a weed than it is to chop down a tree.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one is from one of our viewers from Texas, and his name is Moses. What's good, Moses? Thank you for checking out What the Church Won't Say. And I'm going to name this question Boomerang of Pain.
Oh.
Moses says, I went through a divorce 2 years ago. The divorce was due to my sexual addiction, porn, and masturbation. I left 90%. Did you just shake your head? Okay, you just acknowledging that.
Acknowledging him being honest.
Okay. Processing all of this.
I'm just saying, he's like,
sexual addiction, porn, and
it's like you almost pumped your fist.
Just get it out there. I respect it.
All right. I left. This is what he said. I left. You can see if you're gonna respect this part. I left 90% of my assets to my ex-wife who divorced me. I heard that she made some bad decisions and lost a lot of money.
90%.
She voiced that she wants to get back together for financial reasons. What would a man of God do?
I think a man of God would tell her to maybe get a second job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think God's intention of marriage, right, was not for financial stability for a woman. Although maybe it's one of the, right, but it's not the end all be all. I think that He created us to be together, to be in harmony, and to be a helpmate. And I think this just seems like she just wants more of his money. She ran out. So I'd like to base a relationship or a marriage off of money. I think that is a huge red flag, and it's not going to end well.
No.
The second round.
No.
It'll probably end worse.
It says a lot if a woman leads with, hey, let's get back together because I'm broke.
Right.
Like, I just don't feel like that's going very far. You basically telling me you want to use me, and you think I'm that much of a sucker that I'm going to go with it. So Moses, it's in the question. She literally said that's the reason why she wants to be with you. Not because God said it. Nope. Not because you guys can build something awesome. Bro. Not because she can help you fulfill a purpose. It's because she wants to use you.
I want to get off these food stamps.
I don't even think we have to add anything else to that. I'm just going to move on with that being said.
But you know, it's like you want to honor, right? The vows of marriage and working out with your wife.
They're not married.
Oh, they're not married.
They got a divorce. They got a divorce. It's a wrap.
And like the question is, what would a man of God do? Like, okay, so...
Do you patch it up?
No, but hold on. Like, what are you implying? Are you implying that a man of God is unwise and a sucker? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, no.
But the church will encourage you to fix it.
Of course, yes, of course, sometimes. But I just think, like, look, man, you gotta, like, she is, and thank God for this. She's showing you her true motive right now. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Thank God that she is very comfortable in telling you, I want to get back with you because I'm broke now.
Right.
So, come on, brother. I love you, man. And thank you for tuning in. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Open up your eyes a little bit.
Absolutely. And I hope whatever sexual addiction you had, man, I hope that's being addressed.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, get into a dope church that teach the Bible, that assist you in that area, man. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get back to it. Next anonymous viewer. I'm going to call this Sexy and Sanctified. Our viewer says, I've been married for 4 years. Recently, my husband told me I dress too sexy to be a woman of God. The funny thing is, when we were dating, he used to say he loved the way I dress and how I'm built. I feel like he's changed and has become more insecure since we got married. I need some honest advice. What should I do?
There are different standards of modesty, different standards, put it in air quotes, right?
I like
because some people might find offensive like what I'm wearing. Maybe I'm showing too much neck.
Mm-hmm. Or other people might find that to be ugly. Yeah. Not saying me, but some people may say it looked like it came from Salvation Army.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is it's different for everybody. Got a different perspective.
Correct. Now, here's the line though. Now you gotta ask yourself though, as a woman, am I showing too much breast? You know, do I notice that men often are looking at my butt? That are looking at me? Because, you know, a woman notices that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they like it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So, okay, but here's the thing. Like, if you are noticing these things, so those are outward signs of that, yeah, maybe I'm being a little too provocative.
Okay.
You know? So if that resonates with what your husband is saying, I think that you should submit to your husband and tone it down.
What you want to say?
I think, regardless, I think you should submit to your husband and his wishes. If he says you dress too provocative, I'd say tone it down. The only person that you want to impress anyway is him, right?
That is true. Yes.
That's the only goal right there is him.
Amen.
So,
I like that.
And before you guys were single, you weren't married. It's a way different ball game now.
Yeah, and he may have grown as a man of God. He may have been in a different space when you guys was dating, and he liked you dressing that way. And now I've grown. I'm more holy. I'm more sanctified, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I'm closer to God, and now I don't want no one to look at my wife in a sexual way. And so let's cover that up.
Right.
And he'd probably be honest enough to say, yeah, I did like the way you dress, but now it's mine, and I don't want to show. I want you to show it no more.
Yes.
So I mean, just keep that in mind. People evolve, and don't hold him to the man he once was when you guys were just dating. I think this man said something awesome. That's the only man you should be trying to please anyway.
Yes.
Go ahead, submit on to your husband and make that adjustment. And I hope that advice bless you. All right, we're gonna move on.
Alrighty.
All right, we have another anonymous viewer. And I'm gonna name this She Got Hands. It says, I've been dating for 4 months. I've been engaged for 4 months. My fiance is everything I've been looking for in a wife. My perspective on her changed recently. She got into a fist fight with my sister.
Whoa.
When I walked into the room, my fiance was standing over my sister who was on the floor and spit on her.
Oh, that is crazy.
Like the southpaw wasn't enough.
I'm thinking about calling off the wedding. Am I overreacting?
There are many variables happening.
I'm sorry. I wasn't ready.
You okay, man?
I think I got a little water. Go ahead.
I think, okay, so the question is...
I'm thinking about calling off the wedding.
Yeah, but like...
Am I overreacting?
What's up with the sister, though? You know, like, I'm not going to just excuse the girl right here, right?
Okay.
But, like, maybe, you know your sister, maybe she has a loud mouth, you know, and maybe she says something that it was just too much for your fiance to handle. Okay.
I'm going to counter that.
Yes, of course.
Totally understand.
Yes.
Totally agree. And even if she had to put her down, the spit is over the top.
It is.
The loogie, walking in on a loogie puts you in a whole nother... Right. Like, who is this woman?
That's offensive. Like,
you're already standing over her.
Right, you standing over her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pounding your chest.
Expressing dominance.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, then you come from the gut.
That's a power move.
Yeah, that is.
You come from the gut. That seemed like they had some type of beef.
Yeah.
She been waiting to do this. Like, exactly.
That sounds like execution style. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me say this. I'm sorry. I think we just kind of a little excited about this question. Right. On the neck.
Right.
The high heel on the neck.
Right.
You know. But my thing in all of this is this. It is some variables we don't quite understand.
Yeah.
But also I want to know her history. Have you guys... Do y'all argue all the time? Is she always fighting? Is she got a finger trigger when it comes to her anger? You know what I mean? So all of that I would want to know. If this is an isolated incident, which is hard to imagine it being if she went this far over the top, the question's gonna have to be along the lines of, was she repentant? Was she like, I'm sorry? Or is it just like, hey, I'll do it again? She run up on me. I like all the attitude of the heart in this situation. Yeah. And like you said, finding out why she did it. Like what did the sister do? I would need those details to really make a sound decision, get some sound advice on this situation. But I will go through those, do my due diligence to find out those things, and that'll better let me know, is this something that's worth calling off a wedding for?
Because he's shocked.
Yeah, he's shocked. I get it.
I'm pretty sure he sounds shocked.
He's probably shocked and turned on at the same time.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say
yeah.
What are you into, bro?
That's my woman. She's towering over.
No, I don't know. What I was gonna say though is probably this is the first time she does this, because it sounds like he is shocked. He's never seen this side of her.
Probably not this extreme, but I'm telling you, if a person has anger problems, you've seen it in little bits.
Little things.
You've seen it. You have to see a snippet of it. I don't know how long they've been together. 4 months of being engaged, so I assume they had some type of length of time in the marriage. But you're gonna see it in an argument y'all had. You're gonna see it. It's gonna be fragments of this
anger issue.
Yeah. Can't close her mouth. She gotta have the last word. It's gonna be there in some form or fashion. But only he knows that.
Right.
And I think I will be looking for breadcrumbs of, is that who she is, or what's her buttons pushed, and that will help me better decide what to do. I hate to interrupt this video, but I gotta share something with you guys that's absolutely crazy. You know what it is? 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. I know, that's crazy. Well, let's take this moment right now to go ahead and hit subscribe, and let's turn on your bell notifications so you never miss a thing. And while we at it, let's go ahead and crush that like button. Hey, I appreciate it. Now let's get back to it. We're gonna go on to the next question, and this is another anonymous viewer, and I'm gonna name this one the Boss Chick.
Boss Chick.
I've been with my man for 2 years. My man recently accompanied me to my company's Christmas party. At the party, while alone with my boss smacked me on the butt.
Oh.
I told him to stop, and he did. I never told my man about this and have been feeling guilty. Part of the reason I haven't told him is because I had sex with my boss one time before. We started dating and never told him. Should I tell him about him smacking my butt and that I had sex with my boss, or take it to the grave? What's going on?
I'm a little confused because, was she, the way I perceived it, this happened before they were married?
What, the sleeping with the boss?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what she said.
And they dated before.
Yep. She had sex one time with her boss before she met this guy. Okay. But she never told him.
Okay.
She never told her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And now she don't want to tell him about the smack on the butt because
that sex thing is going to come up.
It's got to come up.
Yes, of course.
I would think.
I think I'm coming from my perspective. What would I want my woman to do?
Okay.
I would want her to tell me. And I would want her to tell me the truth, like everything. And this is the reason, because this behavior is going to continue to happen, because for some reason the boss feels like he has some bragging rights still with her.
Got some leverage.
Yeah, if he didn't feel this way, he wouldn't act like this. And so what I would want to know this, and honestly I would be like, you need to quit your job. You need to get out of there.
Now let me ask you a question. That sounds good and dandy. If your girl come to you and say, sit down, I want to tell you something. I'm going to say, now we're in February. This Christmas party was 2 months ago. I need to tell you something.
He's right.
At the Christmas party, my boss smacked me on the butt. I never told you. How long? And before I met you, he bit me over.
Which I also didn't tell you. I think that...
Is that a deal breaker?
No, because that's like before we dated.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with that.
Like that's
but you
something
didn't. But you didn't tell me.
Well, because okay, so there are some things like that. What's the point of bringing them up if they're not bothering you? You know what I'm saying? If those things are not for example, let's just say that at this point the boss was just cool. We moved on from whatever fling we had, right? And then the boss might be trying to pull a power move there and just maybe feel good about himself that he can do this with her, and then she's married. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's going on here. You know. So to me, that wouldn't be a deal breaker.
But the problem, bro, is that it's been 2 months. He done smacked your butt.
Yes.
And you ain't said nothing about that either. And because you slept with the man, and now I'm thinking, do you got feelings? Is that the reason why you've been holding on to this? Like, that is going to be...
I see that
it's going to be a problem. That's going
to go through my butt.
And I'm going to disagree with you because you say it's not relevant.
It's very
relevant. But it's relevant because men, we based off choosing a woman off her past.
Of course, yes.
Right? So it's very relevant. And the fact that you just didn't tell me, it's going to ruin my trust in the relationship and you going forward. Like this man says, trust is earned.
Yeah.
Right? It's earned.
Yeah.
Respect is earned.
Okay, but...
And so going forward, it ruins all of that, bro. That's a red flag. That's definitely a deal breaker.
It's borderline.
Because you're hiding things.
And my thing is not when he smacked you on your butt, that's when you should have outed everything. I understand you didn't tell me y'all had sex. That might have been irrelevant at that point.
Yeah.
But when he smacked you on your butt, that's when you say, if you really think we're going all the way, if you really think I'm husband material, that's when you honor me enough to tell me everything. Waiting 2 months is gonna make me feel some type of way.
Like you have been sleeping or still sleeping with
Well, look, this is the thing though, like, and I'm just trying to get here from her perspective. You know
we're talking it out because it's a lot going on.
Yeah,
so I'm with you.
This is a difficult situation.
That it is.
But like, you know, what if she's thinking like, man, you know, if I bring this up to him, like, you know, he's gonna break up with me, and like I really appreciate him. I don't want to lose this relationship. So like, there are a lot of things going on in the mind of a woman.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And like, look, I know 2 months has been a long time, right? Mm-hmm. But like, I've heard this quote from someone, like, the hardest thing you've ever experienced is the hardest thing you've ever experienced. Meaning, like, what if...
So profound.
No, but if you really think about it... No, but if you really think about it, like, what if this is one of, like, those situations that she's never really, you know, been with a man like this guy, you know, like a...
Understood.
And she's just afraid.
You
gotta respect that too,
like saying,
you know?
I cheated on my woman, but I didn't tell her because I don't want to...
No, hold on.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Because she did not cheat, bro.
But
this was an
beforehand.
Yeah,
beforehand.
This was an abuse from her boss. Like, he was the one who slapped her, and she said, "Stop." You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be a different story if there is something going on between them and she gave him a pass.
But it's the perception that she's creating in her man, because now he thinks that they're sleeping together because you went this entire time without telling me anything.
This is going to be based on how your man is built, because we're all different. But I will tell you, through the door, the moment you tell him this, it can go any way, because I would say I'm going to feel some type of way.
Of course.
Because you waited 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was at the party with you.
Yes.
And you didn't say nothing.
Yes.
You didn't say nothing.
Yes.
And now you bringing it to me 2 months later, it's going to either do one or two things. It's going to say, I can't trust you. Because I know you know your quote. I'm going to give you a quote.
Give me a quote.
You know the character person not when things are going well. It's when it hits the fan, you get to see exactly who they are. I love what my old pastor used to say something. He said, Christians are like tea bags. You get to find out what's in them when they're in hot water.
I love it.
I get to see what you're like when the pressure's on, and you ran and put your head in the sand like an ostrich.
I am a tea bag.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that joke alone.
Right.
But what my point is to me, this displayed her character.
It did. And
it displayed her character. And again, I'm not gonna say it's a deal breaker, but man, you on the fence. It's gonna be really.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying. I'm really not. You know, but I don't know. I'm just inclined, you know, on her cause, because like, she might be really afraid. You know what I mean?
And I get that. Yeah,
like,
she should be.
Look, and look,
but
you
it
know,
doesn't justify.
I'm not saying that. You know, because I agree with everything you guys are saying. I would feel some type of way, like
you just understand.
Yeah, why didn't you tell me right there and then?
Exactly.
You know, but now I would like to add one more thing.
Okay.
Let's just say he gives you a pass on this one. If I was her man and if she does it again, then
that goes without saying. I hope
I'm saying, like, okay, so it's because I'm the type of man that I'll give you a chance.
But I want to give this woman some advice, and this is my advice.
Yes.
If you really think that this relationship is going somewhere, you really thinking you guys can go to the next level, he is right. You got to be completely honest and come clean, because if you don't and it comes out down the road, you're guaranteeing that relationship is over. Yeah. So if you want to build on a solid ground, because relationships is like build on a solid foundation and let it be honesty. Yes. And from that point, you also get to see what type of character your man has as well. Because let's look at this.
There you go.
Let's look at this. Look at the Bible. Let's look at the story of Mary and Joseph.
Right.
Mary was pregnant by the Holy Spirit.
Did she wait?
She was gone. She was at her Elizabeth's house. But when she got back, she told Joseph, and Joseph wanted to divorce her.
Yes.
And in his integrity, he didn't jump the gun.
Of course.
And God spoke to him and said this was by the Holy Spirit, and they ended up taking care of it. You know, they ended up getting married and all of that. My whole point of that is Joseph had character. I'm not saying that he doesn't have character if he leaves you, because he has every right to.
Yeah.
But he may be forgiven. This may be a God thing, and you'll have to build it on the cornerstone of honesty.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I agree.
Yeah.
And I would say just one last thing.
Go ahead.
You know, if he does, you guys end up working it out, and he forgives and works it out. Try to be open to whatever his requests would be afterward, as a solution.
Yeah.
He's probably going to request some things, possibly, as a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't bite back.
Like, you going to have to quit your job.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
He may say that.
No, and that's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I would say don't.
Or I'm going to have to hurt your boss.
Oh, no. Well, wow. Okay.
What are we
Right. What just happened? How about I just leave? That seemed like the simpler option. The relationship's over. It seems so much easier.
No murder, just change jobs.
Right.
Okay, I went a little over.
Just a little bit, man. Okay. Dexter, put the knife. This guy here. All right. Hey, that's all the questions we have for this episode of Pillow Talk. We so appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey, if you want us to answer your questions, you can put them in the comments section. Or if you want to remain anonymous and want to be a little bit more detailed, you can email them to whatthechurchwontsay@yahoo.com. Hey, we love y'all so much. Know this, if you tune in, we're going to be on our post ready to say what the church won't say. Till next time.